You know, when I first checked into this hotel, the lobby looked so amazing. I loved the design, and then I got to the room and everything just went limp. Can you say that on TV? Everything just went limp? Yes, yes you can. Because I'm not talking about a specific thing. I was talking about the hotel room. I am Bruce Jordan. I'm former ISG corporate and I manage over $1 billion in assets and $300 million in revenue. While Michael Jordan is to basketball, Bruce Jordan is the same to the hotel industry. My main goal is to make your hotel more money. And this is another episode of Hotel Management Do's and Don'ts. Hey, what's going on? We're over here at the DoubleTree in Orlando, right by SeaWorld. They actually call it the DoubleTree Orlando SeaWorld. This particular location has a bunch of villas, a bunch of suites, and it also has a huge tower. This hotel is about 1,042 rooms, so it is a behemoth. But this place was rocking. I mean, this place was oversold. It was sold out before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit. And you know what happened after that. But now things are bouncing back for this place, you know, slowly but surely. They're still trying to get their groove back. They're still trying to get things back to normal after the pandemic. They went from 300, like just over 300 employees, all the way down to about 60 or 70. And for, you know, a building or a hotel that has over 1,000 rooms, you know, that's pretty much a skeleton crew. So I understand and I get it. But some of the things that I found in this hotel really doesn't make any sense. It can take like 5-10 minutes for some, you know, to take care of these issues. But all in all, for the price, I guess you really can't beat it. I mean, for this particular room, it's running at $55. But this is what's crazy. Genius members gets a free upgrade. So this hotel was giving out, of course, free upgrades. So due to the Genius member for Booking.com, you're able to get a room like this, which usually goes for about $200 a night, $180 to $200 a night. You was able to get this huge, ridiculous 1-bedroom suite for $55 or lower for free. Now, this is why I don't do that Genius program stuff. All right, so one, I guess that's a mishap on the revenue management part. They probably didn't realize it, they probably didn't see it, or they probably just didn't care and just wanted the business. I get it. You got to keep the place full, but hell, it's probably gonna cost about $55 to clean this big ass room. But so this is probably what I would have did had it been me doing the revenue management for this hotel. I probably would have got a listing just for the suites. You're looking at me like, what? What you talking about, Willis? Yes, I would have got a listing just for the suites. I would have separated my inventory on Booking.com. You are allowed to have multiple listings. I never recommend it. The only time that I recommend a property do a separate listing for suites is if they have a lot of suites and they need to compete with hotels in the area that also has all suites. So if you're competing with a place like a Staybridge or a Residence Inn, and you have a comparable product to a Residence Inn, a Staybridge, or a Homewood Suites, you will want to have a separate listing just for those suites. For one, you can't get duped out of $150 like they just did, you know, renting out this room for $55 for a free upgrade with Booking.com. And two, you get to actually, your rates get to compete with the other suite hotels in the area. Let me explain. If you have a room or a listing that says, okay, my suite is $200, Resident Inn has a listing that says my suite is $200, you don't get looked past. So if a guest is looking for a hotel, if you only have one listing, they don't know that you have any other suites because it's only gonna market a regular room. It's not gonna market the suites. But if you have a separate listing that shows your rates for the suites, when I do the separate listing, it'll be something like DoubleTree Hotel Suites Edition in parentheses. So they know that, okay, this is nothing for suites. So now my pricing is matching what is going on with the other competition, like the Residence Inns, the Homewood Suites, and so on and so forth. So that's probably something that the revenue management team should have thought of, but they probably know now. and they can add that into their inventory. But man, the hotel room, the stuff is dated. Listen, there's nothing wrong with having dated furniture, okay? The room is nice, the furniture is just a little dated. The only problem is when you let that furniture represent who you are. You should never do that. You shouldn't. Not everybody's gonna get a renovation every 5 years, and this place is proof of that. You should never put yourself in a situation where you're letting the furniture speak for the service. Guests tend to see past the furniture if it's presentable. This furniture was not presentable. You know, there's stains here, nicks there, and it just only adds to, you know, the illusion that the guest is gonna perceive that this room is dated. Paint, simple things you could do. Paint it, you don't need a full renovation to paint a room a different color, to paint a room a lighter color, to add new caulking. Guests see all of that, even though the furniture is a little old, but due to the fact that it has nicks and stains and everything else, they're automatically thinking that it's old, and then they look at the carpet, and then they look at everything else and like, okay, they see that they're not using the correct caulking. You know, the caulking doesn't look brand new, it doesn't look refinished, so they're automatically gonna think that, okay, this place is just old and dated and needs a renovation. Don't let that represent who you are. If it was me, I would have a full-time maintenance guy just to do furniture refinishing. This way we'll always have a nice presentation when it comes to accommodating the guests. This place has a beautiful fitness center. A lot of people are doing like COVID standards for the fitness center because, you know, they don't want too many people inside the fitness center. They don't, you know, they want the maximum capacity to be like 1 or 2 people. But this fitness center was so big. I mean, so big that they didn't even need to do that, you know. So my hat goes off to them for the fitness center, my invisible hat. I'm gonna hide my hair underneath my hat. My hat goes off to the people that did the fitness center, designed the fitness center. They knew what they were doing. Now let's get to the nooks and crannies of this place. This place has 2 pools and 1 jacuzzi. They also have a tiki bar in one of the pools. I love it. I love the landscape. Only thing I didn't like was the grounds. Now, out of all my videos, I've never complained about the groundsman, and I understand. You know, when you go from 300 staff members to 60 staff members, some things are going to get overlooked. But the way, the location of these issues, it was almost like intentional. You know, like they just said, I don't got time for this. I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna go over and look this, and it'll get done when it gets done. I mean, just take a look at this. You got cobwebs all over the place. You got dust and dirt just all over the place. At least in this particular villa, I'm pretty sure it's not like that in the towers, but this is in the villas where we're at. So, you know, it just didn't make any sense to me. And then on top of that, they have a Continental Breakfast. I wouldn't call what they had available a Continental Breakfast. I love the fact that they're doing the cost savings for COVID and trying to get their costs down. Hey, I'm with you all the way 100%. But you can pick a juice, a fruit, and like a bagel or a Danish or something of that nature, and that's your Continental Breakfast. Look at this picture. Yeah, so for most guests, that wouldn't be the ideal breakfast, but for me, it's smart because they actually sell regular breakfast. So if you don't like your Continental Breakfast, which you're gonna make sure you don't like it, you're gonna buy regular breakfast. That's a cool move for someone like me. That's something that's out of my book. Give them what they don't want so they can buy what they want. So, you know, when we're talking about this particular location, the first thing that I noticed was that this place has 2 bathrooms inside this villa. It has a living room. As you can see, I'm in the dining room area. There's a kitchen area. There is a living room area. There's like 3 balconies. Boom, boom, boom. There's 3 balconies. Like 2 of them are over here in this area. Then there's another balcony over in the bedroom area. There's a walk-in closet. There's even a makeup area. What's weird is that they didn't have makeup wipes. So, you know, guests are just gonna use your regular towels, and Hilton towels they're not cheap. They're very, very expensive. That's the last thing you want is a guest using Hilton towels to wipe the makeup off their face. So it'll be a little nice addition if you get some makeup wipes to save on the cost of your towels. But you know, my biggest pet peeve with this place is that, one, like I said before, I get it, it's COVID. You know, can you imagine this place had an average rate before COVID? This place had an average rate of, you know, $150 to $200 or more, and they were always sold out or overbooked. And then they go down to 50%. Do you know what 50% is? 50% is still 500 rooms. That's a nice number. You know, I know it's not where you wanted to be compared to where you was at, but that's still a really nice, like a really nice number. You know, I know some people that would love to sell 500 rooms right now. Okay, but as far as the perks, they have quite a few F&B outlets. They have a pizzeria, they have a restaurant, they have a coffee shop, they have a gift shop where you can buy T-shirts. They have a booth for your SeaWorld tickets because they're located so close to SeaWorld. They even have, now this is the first time I've ever seen this one, they even have a UPS store where you can have your packages and boxes shipped. A game on that one. Love it. Beautiful idea. I gotta actually put that in my pocket to add that one to my repertoire. But so this place, they have all it takes, they have all it needs, and I know due to the fact what's going on, they're probably not going to get a renovation for quite some time. But don't let that bring down your standards and bring down who you are and what you represent. Staff was amazing. Everyone was friendly. Everyone was smiling. Managers coming up to greet you, say hi. Maintenance people coming up to greet you to say hi. Now that's what I love to see. And the staff, they understand the whole experience of what it goes on to manage and run a hotel. It's all about the service. And they get an A for service. But unfortunately, we have to break down these numbers. Now, let's talk about what's around this place. They have some stiff competition. Now, of course, the main attraction is SeaWorld, but you have so many small hotels, and then you have some vacation rental homes, and then you got Airbnb, and then you have the other huge hotels that are even bigger than this location, like the Rosen Plaza, which is a force to be reckoned with. They're not even a franchise, but they are a force to be reckoned with in Orlando area. They're literally right across the street from them, and then they have like a couple of Hyatts, and there's a Wyndham. So they have some serious competitors that's trying to steal their market share. But due to the fact that the location has so many amenities for the family, that they're able to hold their own in this particular location with the competition. So you're doing a great job on that end. I'm glad to see that on the weekends you're getting back to 50-60%, and eventually we'll have you back to 80-90%, within the next 3 to 4 months or so. You're going to see next year this place is going to be ridiculous. So let's take a look at some of these numbers and see what we have. First, I want to review the revenue score. The revenue score, I'm going to have to give this place a 6.5. Losing that type of money for a free upgrade for a room that shouldn't even be eligible for upgrade. Listen, when you go to a free upgrade for Booking.com, you don't want to go from a $50 room to a $300 room on your listing. That's ridiculous. These people just lost, and even the front desk agent looked at me like, I know they did not just get this room for $55. Like, she was even confused. So if she was confused, something is wrong. And she ain't even a revenue manager, so something's wrong. So I feel like this was a loss for nothing. I'm looking at their listing. They have like 1 million room types. Like, how the hell you have all of these room types on one listing? There's no way. No way someone's gonna scroll all the way down to the end of the screen to see, what you got available. Like, it's just too many. Break it up, split it up. compete with the market that you have, and then compete with the other market that you're known for. Split it up, get those listings together. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to give the revenue part of this particular location a 6.5. I just couldn't see it. It didn't make any sense to me. Next, we're gonna go to the breakfast score. For obvious reasons, the revenue from the breakfast feeds into their revenue numbers. They're doing the right thing to get people to buy breakfast. Give them a terrible free breakfast so they can buy a good paid for breakfast. And the prices on the menu are actually very reasonable. So I feel like that's a stroke of genius. So I'm gonna give the breakfast score at 8.5. I would prefer to buy the breakfast here versus get the Continental Breakfast just because of what it is. So, but beautiful move. A game in my book. And last is not least, we're going to do the operation score. I felt like, this like I said, the grounds just needed some serious work. They don't have the right people in the right positions when it comes to maintenance. They should really be focusing on keeping this furniture good. And the reason why you want to focus on keeping the furniture good, because it's all you got, man. This is all you got. You can't condemn and be mad at the owners saying, hey, we need a renovation. The owners just blew their whole budget, probably closing this place down. If you're on a deserted island with your wife, what you gonna do? Get a divorce? It's just you and your wife on the island. You gonna get a divorce? No, this is all you got. We gonna make this work. And that's what you have to do here. You have to take care of all you have. So, and unfortunately, they haven't been doing that. They've been using the wrong caulking inside of the tubs. The white look makes everything looks fresh. So that's why you see a lot of hotels, they'll do caulking around the edges. They'll do caulking at the bottom of the baseboards. They'll have painter's caulking, and then of course they'll have tub and tile caulking. And I don't see any of the painter's caulking like anywhere. Even though I love these vaulted ceilings, I should probably see some more caulking like in some of the area where the granite is and stuff like that. And I'm just not seeing it. So it just gives it that fresh look. And you can tell that this room hasn't been painted in quite some time just by looking at it. You can tell it has been painted in quite some time. So, a fresh coat of paint, especially when you're talking about putting somebody inside of a villa. They're paying, $300, $400, $500 a night for, a suite like this. You wanna make sure that they are taken care of and that the room, even though the furniture, isn't new, but it looks as fresh as possible, because this is where your money is. This is where your money is. So for that purpose, and then of course everything I've seen with grounds and everything else, I'm gonna have to give the operation score a 7.5. Other than that, you have your usual complaints. The bed was amazingly comfortable. The pillows was great. I love the bed. I love the layout. I mean, I'm pretty sure like maybe 10 years ago, this carpet was cool. Like this looks like the carpet that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air put inside of the mansion at that time, like back in the 90s.
It's for me, man. No, it's not. It's for me.
I wish I could be there with you. But I know how to make you feel better. First, I'd nibble on your left ear. Then I'd bite you on your neck. Then oops! There's my other line.
But it doesn't represent who you are. This does not represent who you are. And let the guests see that and how you maintain what you have. Now, one of the things that I did notice is that this place, the doors have Sawtooth Locks, and they're still giving out regular keys. Now, with Sawtooth Locks, let me explain this for a second. With Sawtooth Locks, the app, Sawtooth, the company, they allow you to send keys directly to your phone, but you just have to pay the licensing fee. The reason why I did the licensing fee versus getting the actual physical keys is because those keys are expensive as hell. Like, those keys are really pricey. They can run as much as anywhere from 50 cents to $1 per key. So it's not something that you want guests to lose. So that's why I went ahead and got the app for the Sawtooth Locks. Now, there's one thing with Sawtooth Locks. You do not have to actually use their app. They charge like $5 or $10 per room for the license. So that license will cost this hotel a lot of money. But what I would do if I was them, I would probably get a developer to develop the app so that they don't have to use Sawtooth's app, and Hilton can pretty much develop their own app with Sawtooth and then run them $10,000 or $15,000 versus, you know, just paying all of these money for these keys. I think Hilton have his own check-in app. There should be part of that app. They should probably team up with Sawtooth to add that to the version, add that version of their API to this hotel. Now, one reason why people love the DoubleTree is because of the cookies, man. Give me them cookies. But you know, the cookies wasn't warm this time when I checked in. It was a little hard, so I was just a little disappointed. I was looking for some fresh hot cookies, and I got some cookies that I could have got out of Walmart, you know. But hey, you know, we're working ourselves back into this. It's a step-by-step, you know, process, and you know, we're just doing what we got to do. So, even though you know, there are some issues, like I just didn't see a whole lot of cameras. I don't know why, and like in a place this big, I don't know why there's no cameras. Even though there are some issues, all in all, I feel like this place can be greater than what it is. So, which is why I gave it the review scores that I got. When I think at my first glance, I seen that the review scores was taking some hits, because listen, everybody review scores is taking some hits when it comes to, you know, after they're bouncing back from the coronavirus and the pandemic. But the pandemic is not designed to let you stay down. The pandemic was designed to knock you down so you can see how strong you are when you get back up. Everybody can take a loss, everybody can take a fall. But the reason why we fall is to get back up. It's not to stay down. Don't let this pandemic beat you down to the ground to the point where you can't get back up. I know you guys are stronger than this. Let's keep it moving. So please come check out this property, especially while it's nice and cheap. And you know, you are going to love the activities that they have here. They have a lot of activities and a lot of things to do in the area, and go visit SeaWorld. And that's going to be our episode today for Hotel Management Do's and Don'ts. And again, I'm Bruce Jordan, and we'll be talking to you soon. Make your revenues rise up once again.